Good afternoon. It's July the 7th, 2016. Time to wrap up another trading day. We came in this morning basically wanting to sell 2101. We said because of the way the overnight session was trading, the trade might be 94. So 94 to 99 was the official call. That was our sell recommendation. Then it was 4 to 9. And you actually could have gotten that trade on at 2100 off of our setup, so you could have been short for 2100. We thought the trading range would hold because tomorrow's non-farm payroll numbers, and it basically did. On the buy side, we had a buy at 85.87. Starting off in the day, we said it might take a 90 to get in, then an 80.82 for buy number 2. So if a number 1 R holds, which was basically 2100, we're looking for number 2 buy to be the area where we're going to engage the market. And our number 2 buy was 80 to 82, and we have a low just below 82. So the overall market assessment trading range, the ideal would sell would be around 2100. Number 1 resistance holds. Number 2 buy was 80 to 82, held up pretty well. As far as the signals went, Nancy's tweezers, small trade right here. We get a retest of the high, get a nice retest failure here. We've got an S right there. S, S, we're below the blue line. We're only looking at S's. This S is a loser. Nancy's tweezers, positive, another S, and another S. And then we get multiple tests of the 82 level. So could have been a couple of losers during the day, but overall the assessment was correct, and the levels were spot on. And you had that information in your hand by 7 Central this morning. So what does the F1 screen tell us? Outside day, trading range. Tomorrow's a Newsday trade. It's going to swing on where the unemployment numbers are. They're looking for a growth of 200,000 jobs, 180,000 non-farm payrolls, and unemployment at 4.8. Where will the 4.8 number come from? More people following out of the job market. 90% of the gains in the unemployment number have come from people no longer searching for work. That's how strong this economy is. I saw a report the other day, and it said 14 million fewer people working than there were before the 2008 sell-off began. Unemployment sell-off in the market, weakening of the economy. So we just know that fewer people are working than want to work today. Pretty square profile. If we don't break it, we've got this little saddle formation. Here's our attractor. So if the market was to close right now, the first sell would be 89 to 91. Second sell would be 94, 96. And then 2100 or better. On the buy side, 80, 82. And there's a pretty clean break in this market at 75, so 74, 76 for buy 2. But it is a Newsday trade, and to prosper, you have to put that trade on before the news. And it's a big, I mean, you can be right plus or minus $1,000 on that one. So big number. I don't think the Fed will raise interest rates, but the July FOMC announcement will be another potential big number, and all the fanfare will be back. Is the Fed going to raise, or be about will the Fed raise interest rates or not? Lower high, lower low on the 10-year. Find a place to sell it. Next week's auction week. They like to run the market down on Fridays and Mondays before we head into an auction week. That's a dynamic that we need. It's always easier to move the paper with a higher interest rate. A pretty square profile. We have the saddle. We got a buyer below 16. We've got a seller above 22, definitely above 24. Know the news, you have the trades. So looking at London tonight, selling 23s, 27, just where we were this morning. Then 31 to 03 for sell 2. On the buy side this morning, we had a 13 to 17. The low is 11. So we're at 21. So that looks pretty good right now. 13 to 17 buy 1. 5 to 9 buy 2. Boy, if you like Pilot's gel 2 pens, which I love, I think they're the best out there. This new Papermate Inkjoy is really, really, really nice. It's smoother than the a little bit than the Pilot gel. Pilot gel's a little scratchy compared to this one. Okay, last rotate up was 10, so resistance is 8 to 12. We had a 15 to 19 sell. Let's make it 15 to 19 once again. The market did make it to 22. Get through that, 27 to 31. But again, it's going to be down to tomorrow's news. Support stopped at 31, so 28 to the buck. Really, the numbers are the same as they were this morning. Number 1, we had a 5 to 9 buy was our number 2. So 17 to 21 by 1, 5 to 9 by 2. The Fed's not raising interest rates, so that'll put a floor on how far the market can sell. It can sell for a day or two, but it's not going to break because of where interest rates are and where they're headed. Gold was off a little bit today. Crude was off a bunch. We came in wanting to sell gold. We talked about that. And boy, I do this all the time on gold. I have not gotten it imprinted yet where that contract is when I go look for it. 64, 66, sell 1. 69, 71, sell 2. On the buy side, last rotate down was 59, so make 55, 57 buy 1, and 1350, 1352 buy 2. Just $5 lower than we were this morning. Looking at crude, got slammed today, lower high, lower low. That's our definition of a downtrend. Lower highs lead to lower lows, higher lows lead to higher highs. Big day down. We've been talking about the last couple of weeks getting back down to 45. We're there. I think we're headed lower. Okay, now typically crude, after we've had a trend day, pauses the next day. So buying 45, 44.75 is reasonable with the proper setup. Buying 44 1/4, 44.50 for buy 2. On the sell side, the spill was from 45.75, so 45.50, 45.75 for London. Sell 1, and 46, 46 1/4, sell 2. A lot of damage was done today in crude. And the thing that broke the market was the low gasoline usage. And like I've said before, it really hasn't made the headlines, but they've revised gasoline demand and usage down in April and May. So the demand for crude hasn't been as high as the market thought it was with those downward revisions. That's what they do. They come back in after the fact and quietly try to get the numbers back on track. The bureaus, the agencies, the departments will puff the numbers as much as they can to keep the whatever the administration is off their backs. You got a better chance of being honest than the Republicans because of the press assumes it's watchdog role once again. But it's just right now it's just such a rigged game that it's hard to believe anything put out by any government agency. The FBI threw in the towel the other day too. Lower high, lower low in the euro. Sell it. Now, while it may be upsetting to us morally and politically and everything else like that, we don't have to know who's doing it. We don't have to know why they're doing it. We can just see that they are, and we join them. So we can prosper no matter who wins the White House in November and who stays in power. You know, if the crony capitalists rule and own everything, by God, we'll just trade with them, and that's okay, monetarily, financially. Okay, at 83 right now, so 111 even is sell 1, and our 25 to 35, which is where we were this morning, is sell 2. I think we can go a little bit lower, so let's make 50 to 60, buy 1. This market may be on hold because of, and then 110.25 because of tomorrow's report, which will impact Europe also. That's it for July the 7th, 2016. I will see you bright and early in the morning. You all have a great evening.